So today is all about standards and what standards do we set ourselves. It's basically the single biggest factor of how I've completely changed my life myself. Hey everyone! Happy Sunday! I hope you've all had an amazing weekend and still having one. Yes, hope you've had an amazing Sunday and I've been getting up to loads of nice things. I've just had a really chilled day with family really and eating food and everything. That's pretty much what I do on a Sunday. Oh, on a food shop, that is always done on a Sunday as well. But yes, Sundays are probably like my favourite day ever because yeah, it's just family time, it's just chill time, and yes, we love it. So I hope you guys have had an amazing Sunday as well. And yes, if you're new to watching these, it's day 14, which is day 14 of my 30 days of happiness, which is basically just daily videos on little tips and tricks and advice based on my own experience of how you can live a happier life. So yes, so today is all about standards and what standards do we set ourselves, you know. So it's basically the single biggest factor of how I've completely changed my life myself in all areas. You know, I've completely changed my current situations into my ideal situations, and I'm obviously still growing because I've got standards that are even bigger to what I have now. So why I want to talk to you about this is because so many people think that they are stuck in a situation and that is just the way it is, but it's not the case. Like, if you are unhappy in any area of your life, you can completely change your current circumstances if you literally just change your standards and raise your standards. So I mean, yeah, any area of your life you're unhappy with, so whether it's, you know, your relationships, whether it's your physical health, your job, are you happy with it? Are you getting enough money? Are you happy with what you're doing? All of this kind of comes down to what is the standard that you set yourself and what do you kind of tolerate and accept daily, really. So it's basically the difference between people having shoulds and having musts. You know, people, for example, you know, people could say, oh, I should be healthier. Or there's people that say, I must be healthier. So I'll give you an example. For myself, you know, I had a lot of health problems a few years ago. So I've had, you know, several kind of health conditions and stuff like that. But I was basically at a point where I wasn't willing to accept that. And I turned I should be healthy, oh, it's so unfair, this is just the cards I've been dealt, that I am just an unhealthy person, no matter how hard I try. But I completely changed that and I said I must be healthy. I must get over all of this stuff. So those of you that don't know, I've been diagnosed with polycystic ovary syndrome. That for me was a must that I was going to get over. So I'm pretty much symptom free. I haven't really got any of the symptoms that I used to suffer with. Same with my mental health. You know, I was someone that was just down in the dumps, miserable, depressed, anxious, all of this stuff. And I basically didn't want to accept that any longer, so I changed that into a must. You know, I must be this strong, confident, all of this stuff. So, you know, health is one. You know, are you someone that thinks, you know, I should be more confident, or I'm not confident? Like, is that the story that you tell yourself, like, oh, I'm not a confident person? You know, I hear girls say it all the time. They're like, oh, I'd love to do what you do, but I'm not a confident person. I used to not be a confident person, like, at all. I've still got a long way to go, but it was a decision that I made in myself. You know, I will be confident. I will be a confident person, because I used to be the shyest, most introverted person in the world. And don't get me wrong, these Facebook lives are still kind of horrible. Like, they're not the funnest, but it's getting better and I'm getting better and my confidence is getting better, not just on this but in general. You know, people say to me, like, I would literally not be able to do what you do, and I'm like, but I wouldn't have been able to either when I used to tell myself that story. So do you get what I mean? Like, when you change your shoulds, like, I should be more confident, I'd love to be more confident, but I'm just not, into I will be more confident, I am, that is a must for me. It will change, and that is just the way it is. Same with money. You know, are you someone that's stuck in a job and you're like, you know, oh, I should get paid more, you know, then, you know, like, oh, they don't pay me enough for this, and I should be getting a pay rise for this, and I work really hard, and you know, I should be doing something better than this, having to, I don't know, like I've had jobs that I've absolutely hated, and if you guys are watching and you can relate, where you're just like watching the clock and you're like, oh, I should be doing something so much better than this, but yet you're not, and you're still there, and you're still tolerating being in a situation that you're not really happy with. So for me, I used to say that, oh, I should get paid more money, so I changed that to a must. I must be paid more, I must be more successful, I must be doing something that I absolutely love. And when you make those decisions, you do find a way, you know, you do find a way. I am like, people look at me, you're like, oh, you've got the dream job. I'm like, yeah, but I didn't used to. You know, I used to be someone that would have thought what I do is just so way out of my league. Like I couldn't, you know, I don't have the confidence, I don't have this, I don't have that. I'm not, I don't know, anything enough to do something like this, where I speak to people all day, and you know, I'm on social media all the time. People just think they couldn't do it, but I used to think I couldn't do it until I changed it, and I was like, do you know what? I'll find a way of how I can do this so I can help other people. Exactly the same in relationships. People think, oh, I should be in a better relationship, or I should be with someone that loves me, I should be with someone that respects me, I should be completely happy in my relationship. But is it a must for you? You know, some people stay in a relationship because they have a must that they must be in a relationship, but it doesn't mean that they've got a must that they have to be happy. And that's, you know, that's where I went wrong. That's how I've got like my dream man. Like if you look at my past relationships, that was me settling for the wrong situations because I didn't have my standards high enough, you know. I had standards high in myself, but obviously in how I wanted to be treated in the relationships I wanted to have weren't high enough. So now, like, I'm marrying the man of my dreams simply just because, you know, I completely raise my standards in that area. And that's the thing, that's the beauty about like bad situations. We can use them so well to teach us and make us realize that we do want more and that we're not going to tolerate not having it. So, you know, if you have been in a bad situation or a situation that you're just not happy with and doesn't fulfill you, use that and think, I don't want to do that anymore. I want something completely better than that. And you can have it. You absolutely can. But it just depends on what your standards are and what you tolerate for yourself. You know, once you turn something that is a should into a must, you know, you have to just remove any possibilities of it not happening. And when you do that, you will always find a way. It's like, I'll give you an example of in our business, we've got like single mums who maybe work full time. They may have like 3 kids. They may even be studying as well on top of it. Their must is to basically have more money, have more time with their kids, and like, because no one wants to be that busy. It's crazy, and they don't get to see their kids, and they're always in debt and all of this sort of stuff. So for them, it's a must that they must find something better and a way of making that better. Other people, they think they should, but they use that as an excuse. So people use situations as an excuse to stop them, whereas other people use it as a reason that drives them further. So you could have a mum that says, oh, I don't have time to do anything different and to try and change my financial situation and change my time situation because I don't have time. Whereas another mum could say, well, because I don't have time, I'm going to make time, and it's a must for me, and that's why circumstances are going to change. So it's just a massive difference, you know, when you see people living 2 different kinds of lives, their musts are different, if that makes sense. But yeah, so when it is a must, you will always find a way. Like, just always. It's just the way it is, because you won't accept anything else. You know. You have, like, I'm going to go back to single mums again, because I was raised by one and we all love them. But like, single mums, for example, they might not have a penny to their name, just worst case scenario. But somehow there'll always be food on the table for the children, because it's a must. You know, or other people won't be able to afford certain things, but they'll be able to afford drinks and fags and stuff no matter what, because that's a must. Do you know what I mean? So people go without and people have their musts, and it's just a difference between what are their standards, what is what they are willing to accept, what's the story that they've told themselves that is their life. You really just need to kind of identify who you are. You know, if you are in a situation that you want to have better, if you're in a situation that you're not happy with, you know, you need to identify who you are and who you want to be, because we become who we believe that we are. So if you believe that you are someone that is not confident, you're not going to be confident. Like if you're somebody that's says I'm not healthy, you know, I'm not happy with my physical body, I'm not happy with my shape, then that is who you will be. If you're someone that decides, do you know what, I am going to be the healthiest version of me, I am going to not be broke ever again, I'm going to do a job that I love, I'm not going to settle for just watching the clock for 8 hours of my life and thinking, oh my god, one day I'm going to be like 60 and finally I can retire. Like, you know, because some people settle for that because it's not a must for them to find something better, to do something better, you know. It's the same with relationships. Am I someone who always gets hurt, who is always undervalued, who always ends up with the wrong person? Is that the story that you tell yourself? It could be. I used to tell myself that story. Like, I just attract the worst people. Oh my god. Like, it's that victim story that I personally used to tell myself. And I know there's probably people watching that tell themselves that as well. But I made an absolute promise to myself that I'm not going to accept that anymore. In all of those different areas, my health, my career, my relationships, all of that stuff. And that is why today I am living a completely different life to what I would have been if I hadn't have made those decisions. Like, it sounds simple, but it is. You know, you've got to realise, you've got to decide who you want to be, and then you've just got to become that. You have to decide what kind of life you want to live, and then you just have to do it. You have to just accept nothing but that, you know, because a lot of us have like belief systems, and this can go back 10 years, 20 years, this can go back from like the start of our lives, you know, where we have formed belief systems. Other people have helped form belief systems for us, but you know, we can always change them. Sorry, my mum's messaging me. But we can always change our belief systems. You know, that is not set in stone, that is not solid. You know, if things have happened in the past that have made you feel a certain way, that have made you think a certain way, say you've not come from a lot of money, so you're like, oh, I don't have nice things, you know, things like that don't happen to me, you know, or people that say like, oh, I never win, I never do all of this stuff. These are all belief systems, and they could be really, really deep rooted from the past. But let me tell you, like, you can change them. You can change your belief systems. You can just, even if it feels ridiculous at first, because you're like, who am I trying to even kid? But trust me, just do it. Like I used to do. I used to tell myself all the time, I'm confident, I'm confident, I'm confident. And I was like, I'm not confident. But you just have to pretend to yourself almost, because you're forming that new belief system. You know, you are forming a new belief system, and it takes work and it takes practice. But your current circumstances, if you're not happy with them, you don't have to, that does not have to be your forever. That does not have to be your forever situation. You can say right now, no matter what, if you're completely broke in debt right now, you can decide, I will never be broke again. You can decide, I will be financially free, I will be in a really good place. If you're really unhealthy right now, if you're, say for example, if you're unhappy with your weight, you can decide now, right? Like, that's not me anymore. That was me. I am no longer going to settle for this. I am going to be the best version of myself and put that work in, because if you make it a must, like I said, you will always find a way. Even if it feels impossible right now, make it a must and you will find a way. Honestly, you will. You know, and like I said, that's why pain is so good, because it can teach us exactly what the hell we don't want, you know. And that's the thing, you choose your pain. You choose your pain. So, you know, either the pain of, for example, staying in a relationship that does not serve you at all, that is quite negative, you know, a relationship that you know you're not happy with, you know, the pain of staying in that, or the pain of being like, right, I'm out of here, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do everything I can to work on myself and be on my own 2 feet. It might seem painful now because I don't know if I can afford it financially, but I'm going to do it anyway. Short-term pain, whatever, I'm going to take it on board. Or you're going to have your pain of staying in the same situation forever. you know? So you've got to choose your pain because it's painful either way. People say to me all the time, oh, you're so positive, like how have you, you say you used to have like anxiety and depression and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I did. But then I get up at 5 a.m. every morning and work on myself and work on my mind. So that's painful for some people, but it's less painful than being completely not in control of my mental health. So do you know what I mean? I would rather do this and choose this pain of getting up early, working on myself, being in control of my own power, than just accepting it. Just accepting there's something wrong with me, just accepting that, I've got these problems, because they're both pains, but one of them is definitely the better choice to make, because it's short-term pain for long-term gain. Can't even speak. But yeah, so that's the thing, you can choose your pain. What do you want? Decide it now. It's same with money. You can either be broke forever, because that's your story that you tell yourself. I am broke. I'm a broke person. I was raised broke. I carried on being broke. I'll never get a good job because I'm not qualified. Or, I didn't go to university, so, I'm never going to have a better job than what I have now. You can either choose that pain, or you can say, right, I'm going to find a way. I am going to find a way. It might mean I can't watch the soaps at night time, or I can't do this, can't go out partying with my friends every weekend for the short term. But guess what? It's long-term gain. You have to decide the quality of life that you want to live. And I am just speaking from experience, this is something that has completely changed my quality of life. And that's why I'm sharing it with you guys. And if anything has resonated with you today, please comment below. I would love to hear. But yeah, it's something anyone can do. Like, you can do it now. You can look at your situation now and say, right, what am I going to change? What am I going to change to make better? Because we all have so much more power than we sometimes let ourselves believe, and it ain't gonna get you nowhere unless you change it. And that is it, guys. So yeah, yes, as always, my inbox is always open. Feel free to drop me a message, and yes, I hope you have an amazing rest of your Thursday evening, and I'll see you later, guys.